If you often travel, one of the biggest questions is what esim should I use? Over the past few trips, I tried different esims, and the two I kept comparing are Aeralo and Eskimo. Both are convenient, both are easy to use, but they work very differently depending on the kind of traveler you are. First, let's talk about why I personally prefer esims instead of physical SIM cards. The biggest advantage is convenience. No more removing of SIM tray at the airport, no more worrying about losing your physical SIM card, and no more lining up just to buy a local SIM after landing. Usually, you can scan a QR code, activate the eSIM, and you're connected almost immediately. It makes traveling so much smoother and less stressful. But before buying one, make sure your phone supports eSIM technology because not all phones are eSIM compatible yet. Now let's compare Aeralo and Eskimo because this is where things get interesting. Aeralo is actually a good option if you want something cheaper upfront. In many countries, their packages can cost a little less, which is great if you only need data for a short trip. But here's the downside for me. With Aeralo, the data usually expires based on the package duration, sometimes 7 days, 15 days, or depending on the package you purchase. So even if you still have unused data left, once the validity period ends, that remaining data is gone. And for someone who loves traveling, but doesn't always finish all my data during a trip, it sometimes feels a little wasteful. That's why I started leaning more toward Eskimo. What I really like about Eskimo is how their expiration system works. Most of their data packages have a much longer validity, usually 2 years. And the best part, every time you buy a new package, even if it's for another country or a global package, it refreshes the expiry date of all your existing data to another 2 years from that purchase date. So, for example, I still had leftover data from my Japan trip. Then later, I bought a package for the US, and my remaining Japan data got extended again. Another thing I like is that there is no speed limit on the data, so the connection still feels fast and reliable while traveling. And one feature I honestly find really useful is that you can transfer your remaining data to someone else. So if you still have extra data left, you can share it instead of letting it go to waste. For travelers who go abroad at least once a year, that's actually super helpful because your unused data doesn't feel wasted. It feels more flexible and practical, especially if you travel to different countries throughout the year. If you're someone who travels frequently, visits different countries, or doesn't consume a lot of data per trip, I personally find Eskimo more worth it in the long run. But if you only need a cheaper short-term option for one specific trip, Aerolo can still be a really good choice. At the end of the day, it really depends on your travel style and what works best for you. I do have a referral code for Eskimo that gives you free 500 MB when you sign up. I also have a referral code for Aerolo if you prefer using their eSIM packages instead. I place both referral codes in the description below, so feel free to check them out before your next trip. And follow for more travel tips, food finds, and tiny travel hacks that make traveling easier. This is Pam, your buddy for discovering places, plates, and tiny everyday joys.